Hey all, I just wanted to talk a bit about base gear weights. We're always trying to find a balance between lightness, durability, and strength. And over the past year, we've refocused our efforts on making things a little lighter and a little bit more durable. And there's been some progress. Let's talk base rigs. The Cirrus. The current Cirrus weighs just over 1,000 grams with toggles in an average harness size. That's 2.2 pounds. If you have bigger legs or a longer torso, the weight will fluctuate by 100 grams or so simply because of the amount of webbing that's needed to fit your body. So a shorter, lighter person's Cirrus will be around 950 grams, and a bigger person's rig could be in the 1,150 gram plus range. So grams make pounds, right? And we're always trying to save a few grams wherever we can, because it all adds up. But we're also happy to add a few grams to make something significantly more durable or a little cleaner overall. So we're not going to sacrifice a lot of durability over 50 grams of weight. Here's what 50 grams looks like. If you're wondering why we have lateral covers or an interior lining on the container, this is why. We think those few extra grams are worth the durability gain. And there is something new in our range now. It's the Ultra 200 fabric option. If you need to go lighter than the Cirrus, then you can. We now offer two options in our range that weigh less. You can choose the new Ultra 200 fabric option. This is a Dyneema laminated fabric that's pretty light and extremely strong. This stuff has a bit of wrinkle memory because of the laminate character of the fabric, but it's incredibly tear and abrasion resistant. When you're rocking a rig made out of this stuff, everyone on the exit point is going to know that you really mean business when it comes to doing business in the mountains. So a Cirrus in this Ultra 200 fabric option will weigh in at about 900 grams without toggles in a rig made in my size. And I'm like perfectly medium, totally average. And our toggles weigh around 23 grams for a pair. And maybe you can find lighter ones. So just leaving that option open for you. This Ultra 200 option is available on all of our rigs except the CXUL, and I'll tell you why in a second. But first, the Stream 3. The Stream 3 weighs in at about 1,100 grams, which is only 100 grams more than the Cirrus. And the difference is the result of the pin protection design, which we think is pretty solid and effective. The container is smooth and aerodynamic and pretty slick. We dig it. This is kind of my favorite container in our range. So if 100 grams doesn't freak you out and you like to fly in wingsuits in the mountains, then this is definitely the rig to take. It's my preferred container and what we recommend to most people looking for a dedicated alpine rig or a wingsuit rig. If I were going to the Alps, for whatever reason, not that I would, this is what I would bring. It's still a very light rig by any metric. It's within 100 or 150 grams of the very lightest containers on the market. And it's also long and comfortable and really nice for wingsuiting. And remember, if you want to shave a few grams off of that weight, you can save 50 to 80 grams by choosing the Ultra 200 fabric on the Stream 3. 50 grams. So the CXUL is our lightest rig. Remember that the easiest way to make a container lighter is to make it shorter and smaller overall. So when you're comparing containers, look at the length and think about how that affects your deployment comfort. The Cirrus and Stream 3 are both quite long containers, which makes them very comfortable for wingsuit base. The CXUL is a little shorter. The CXUL is designed specifically for alpine missions. It's not really an all-around everyday base rig, and it's not what we would recommend for all-around use. This container comes in at about 860 grams without toggles in an average dude size. All right, canopies. Let's go over canopies and talk about weight and pack volume. The Ibex UL first. So a few years ago, we launched the Ibex UL. And at this point, it's a well-proven design with quite a few customer jumps on it. The 230 size is only 2.8 kilograms without the slider. And I'm going to talk canopy weights without sliders because we have a few slider options now, which have different weights. The Ibex UL is a canopy that has great flare. If you're heading out for some hikes and you care about weight, then this is kind of the go-to option in my opinion. It has a ZP nose, which is great for performance and flare, and it's unvented. 5 Light is new. As for the 5 Light, this canopy was born from a defense project that we've been working on for a while, in which the requirement is high reliability, low weight, low pack volume. The 5 Light is 10% lighter than the Ibex UL, which is saying something. The 260 size weighs in at only 2.8 kilograms, making it the lightest base parachute on the market by quite a margin. It's also extremely low pack volume. So if you're into super light and you like high reliability, this is a canopy to consider. But there's always a cost, right? And the cost here is headwind penetration and flare. Compared to a modern 7-cell canopy, it has less of both. But if you compare it to a 7-cell base canopy back from when we started jumping a little while ago, which is not that long ago, but you know, it's a while, It's definitely better than those canopies. So if you complain to us that it doesn't flare well, we'll know that you're a new jumper. Just kidding, sort of. In any case, don't say we didn't warn you. I would not want to downwind this thing into boulders, but I wouldn't want to do that with any canopy. And if you're landing into the wind in a reasonable LZ, it's pretty sweet. It's just fine. I've been putting this canopy in my sky rig for off-airport jumps because of how reliable and how low pack volume it is, and it lands fine. All right, the Hayduke 2. The Hayduke 2 is our all-around canopy for everything from urban to alpine, as we say. It's still very light in the light version. I just checked stats today when I was prepping for this, and something like 90% of our customers choose the light version of the Hayduke 2, which is good. It's definitely what we recommend. The lightweight fabric is excellent. We use Porsche PN9 from France, and its mechanical stability and porosity levels hold pretty steady for hundreds of jumps. This is a canopy you can count on to last as long as anything else on the market that's comparable. So if you're jumping slider off occasionally, or only want to get one parachute, this is the one to go for. Easy choice. It's durable and bomber and just works well for everything from downtown buildings to alpine wingsuit missions. With Dacron lines, the 240 size is only 3.3 kilograms. That's with all the vents, the float flaps, slats, etc. So even our most full-featured, all-around canopy compares favorably to the lightest parachutes out there. All right, a quick note on sliders. Grommets are heavy. We have 4 grommet and 6 grommet slider designs, and soon we're going to be releasing a slider with these machined aluminum grommets, which shave off a few more grams. These were also a byproduct of a defense project, and we're pretty happy with them so far. With these aluminum grommets, a 6 grommet slider weighs about 150 grams, depending on the size, and a standard grommet slider will be 230 to 245 grams, depending on the size of slider again. Obviously, bigger parachutes use bigger sliders. All right, cool. So complete systems. What's it all going to add up to? Let's say you want to go for kind of the lightest rig you can put together. If you were to take a 5-light 240, which is what I would jump at 170 pounds body weight, and add in the UPE 200 option rig, say about 950 grams, and a 34-inch snatch, your total equipment weight is going to be around 4.5 kilograms. 4.5 kilograms is pretty light for parachute, harness container system, and pilot chute. If you add in an alpinist version wingsuit, which will be around 1.4 kilograms, you're still coming in at under 6 kilograms for your rig, parachute, PC, and wingsuit. I'm going to go way out on a limb and say that you might have a hard time putting together a lighter system from anywhere else. As always, we're here for your questions, so hit us up.